Hey everyone, this video is to show you how to use the handbook for this course. I'm going to go to my block 3, but this also pertains to block 5 too. So if you go to our main Schoology page, it's right on the top, linked to course handbook. This is a living document, which means that it can change. So don't bother making your own copy of this because I update it as I need to, especially the calendar. I use that a lot. So this is something that will change throughout the semester. Don't save a copy. Just use this one as a reference that I've given you here. So this is also kind of an introduction to our course. Welcome everyone. What is the process journal? Is just a way for you to keep record of all the work you've completed in this course. So there are 5 total. We'll also have weekly reflections, small group meetings, and of course we'll make a lot of art together. So in the process journal, there'll be 2 main things. There'll be either blue or white or yellow, blue or yellow. So if it's highlighted in the bluish teal, that means that I'm evaluating you. And if it's yellow, that means it should be completed by you. The handbook is what we're looking at now, is a tool that will help you to complete everything you need in this course. And it should be open to every class because we'll use it a lot. So we're going to start out with the syllabus here. I'm going to make this a little bit larger for you. This is my basic information and my office hours as well. And you can access the course handbook yourself. And as you're watching me present this, or after you watch me present this, you can go and read through it a little bit more carefully. But I'm just going to highlight some of the main points of the syllabus here. So, there's my kids. I work from home, if you didn't know. So participation in this class, so you will have a participation grade for your small groups, but everything else is just kind of, if you did the work, it's going to show that you participated. And you'll also be able to participate in the mindful moments in this class as well and show that in your process journal assignments. So the main code of conduct is in this class is to be respectful, open-minded, kind, and participate and communicate. So every day is a new day in this class. I think my biggest thing is just to keep communication with me and don't just spend the whole semester procrastinating something and then ask me at the end if I will fix it for you. Most likely the answer will be no, but if you tell me what's going on with you, we can talk. So these are the aims of MYP Arts courses according to the IB, which I will not go over in too much detail. The attendance is something that's pretty important now because I do have some students who leave Zoom calls early, and I can see that, and I know that you left the call. So just be aware to hang on meetings until we're all done. I do understand that people have legitimate issues. I'm fairly flexible with due dates as long as you communicate with me and if you have legitimate reasons. One thing I will say that's super important is that if you're going to be absent from my class, you're not going to be able to email me. It doesn't work like that. You still have to get your parent to call Huron and get you excused from class just as if you were in regular class. So here's my grading and the rubric. So we will be using the MYP Arts rubric to grade the 2 biggest projects, which will be process journal number 5 and the final reflection. As you can see, they're 200 points. There will be 6 total assignments as well as small groups. And this is how it kind of breaks down at the bottom. It's not going away. It's covering up the last part of it. I wish that it would stop covering it up. There we go. Process journal is 60%. The final reflection is 25%, and small group participation is 15%. And I do not use the same conversion chart as the school does, so I don't really like that. If you've ever taken personal project before this class, you would know that the conversion chart's a little bit different than that, but this is my conversion chart. This is the MYP Arts rubric. There are 4 main areas in this class that we focus on, which would be knowledge and understanding. So this is like terminology and different kinds of artwork looking at. And then the second one is skill development, which is actually developing the skills that you're using to draw or paint, etc. The third one is creative thinking, which is what we'll work on basically all semester long. And then responding is reflecting, critiquing, and that's a fun part too. Here's the rubric. So the highest grade is a 7 to 8, and then a 1 to 2 is your lowest grade there. If you need technical support, this information is here for you. And I also have the Spanish help desk for those that need it, but you can reference this whenever you want to. These are the main digital rules in my classroom. I try to get here 5 minutes early. We'll start 5 minutes after class is supposed to start. So if class is starting at 10:25, we'll start 10:30. And I'll be having you look at artwork during that 5 minutes that you're waiting to start class. So it get there on time so you can have time to look at the artwork. Camera's on if you're able. Mic's muted unless we're having a discussion. I ask you to unmute your mics. We're happy that you made it. I don't care what you look like. Be sure if you need a snack, be careful around your technology. I've heard of some tragedies happening. If you need to go to the bathroom, please do not tell me. Just go. And you'll be marked on excused leave early if you consistently leave meetings before they're dismissed. And I also want to mention something that's not on here either is as far as cameras go, I really like it. I really like seeing people's reactions and looking at you and knowing who you are. So it is important to me to see you, but we're not allowed to make it mandatory. And this is our classroom digital contract. Respect the needs of yourself and others when safe and possible. When it's time to contribute, use wise words and actions. If you're tempted to scroll on your phone or do something else, remain present and connected and communicate your needs the best way you can by being transparent. So here is our schedule. And like I said, it's subject to change, but all the yellows are technically asynchronous because we won't be meeting as a big class, but you will be meeting on most of the yellows with your small group unless it's otherwise shown. So this is February. We have one thing due in February, which is process journal number 1. In March, we have process journal number 2 is due, and then we'll work on process journal number 3 for a while. There's a lot of stuff in it. We'll go to work on that until April 15th, and then we'll start on number 4, and we'll work on that until May 20th, when you'll finally get your final process journal and your final reflection introduced to you, and then you'll have the rest of May and all of June up until your exam day to complete that. So here we have 2 slides, the elements of design and the principles of design, which we're really going to go over in class all semester, but I want to give you all of this vocabulary now. So the next part of the handbook is really things, I'm just giving it all to you. I'm not trying to make you learn it all at once. I'm not trying to teach you all at once, but I want you to give it to you now, and then you can practice with it all semester and get better at using it. So that goes for the principles of design as well. And we'll go over those more in process journal number 2, but they're here for you now. We'll also be using this how to read art as we get a little bit more into our mindful moments. You'll use that with mindful moments, as well as postmodern art principles. We'll do a little bit of that too with our mindful moments. Here is a great little vocab cheat sheet where if you're trying to critique or talk about artwork, you can look and say, okay, this artwork is unified, yet still chaotic. Okay, so you can get some great words from this sheet here. The next one is an artist statement. So this just talks about how to write an artist statement, and we'll be writing a couple of them this semester. The next one are critique sentence starters. So these will be there again for you to use during critiques. And then finally, another critique thing that we'll use at some point in our mindful moments. I do touch on all the approaches to learning in this class at some point. So you'll see it kind of snuck in there. We're focusing on this one for each different process journal. So just be aware that those are on there. We do use the design cycle. I also kind of sneak that in on you too, because on all your projects, I walk you through the 4 steps, which is inquiry and analysis, development of ideas, creating the product, and then evaluating it. And we will also look at the IB learner profile, and we'll do a few different focuses on different parts of the IB learner profile. And here's the global context. There are 6 total, but I only show you 3 in here because these are the only 3 that we're going to look at here. Oh, went the other way. And this is all information, saving small groups text chat, which I have as another video in the Orange Schoology folder. And then what is a quality photo is in the Orange Schoology folder, but I also wanted to give you the options on there. And then the mindful moments are also on there too, which is a separate video in the Orange Schoology folder. So the last part of the handbook here is all of your process journal assignments. So it'll say in the top corner here what you're supposed to do for it. And then remember I said how I sneakily walk you through the design cycle. So basically I just put all the steps in order for you, and then you walk through it like this. And remember where I said we've got all this MYP stuff? That's to the left. Then I'll also put the learning objectives that are in the presentations. I'll add them to the handbook as well here, and the vocab just for that one. And here's our second process journal assignment. Third process journal assignment. The fourth one. The fifth one. And I actually don't even have the final reflection in there yet, which is why I said this is a living document. So this is just going to keep changing, but it has everything that you need. So you're going to need to open it every day that you come to class. I hope that you have a better understanding of what the handbook is. And if we're watching this live in class, now is the time for questions.